Hello, gorgeous folk. How are you? Today I'm talking about the big split again, but the mechanics of it. How on earth is it going to work? How will we say it? Well, I'll tell you all about that and more on the other side. For those who like this channel, please like this video, and that'll help me tremendously to promote this message. So, the big split. I was talking to the emissaries. I had this big lengthy conversation where they were giving me lots of information, and we were talking about the big split and when it happens, and you know, the splitting of the timeline. And you know, this has been talked about a long time. The ascension, you know, the rapture, how, you know, they'll be taken up. I mean, that's what the Bible says, they'll be taken up. Jesus will come and be taken up and all of that. And so I said to them, so how is that going to work? How? And they said, we can't give you all of the details because that is still yet to come, or it's yet to happen or whatever. But what they said was this: the split will occur without us really noticing it. What they said was this: the first words, the very first words that they said to me when I said, how will the split, the people who were going to go off on the other timeline, how will that happen? And they said, some will die, some will leave your life, some will move away, and some will fade away. Okay. And I thought, all right. I mean, they said some will die because of the way that they're allowing the baddies to really, really do them damage, and that's very sad, and that's something that we're seeing now, is it not, in a big way. But they said what will happen is that it will happen in such an organic way that we will barely notice it. So what they said was that the divide's already happening. Already, you know, we're not as close to the people that aren't awake as we used to be, and the divide's getting bigger and bigger. Energetically, it's getting bigger and bigger. So what they said was that those people will kind of drift away. Now, I know that that's not easy to get your head around because lots of them are our family. But they said things like, it'll happen in such a natural way, like they'll move away. They'll go somewhere else. They may go to do another role, to do another job somewhere else, and it will lose touch with them. So that's, they said, how it'll start. But also they said, then even after the split has happened, the actual split, those people will still be in our lives, but they'll drift. So it's almost like an echo of those people, and then they'll drift, and then they'll be gone. So that's the first thing that they said to me. The next thing that they said to me is that we, those on this side, on the right-hand path, the nice one, the nice choice, we won't notice it. We won't notice the split. So they said it's not going to be like a dan overnight, wah, big change. They said it's going to happen in such an organic way that we will not see it. They said for those who have eyes to see, you will see some things. Some of you may see some of it, but they said you won't see all of it, and you won't even register that it's happening until it's done. How? So I said, how? How can that happen? And they said, well, because it's going to happen so naturally, like a process of life would. What they said was that there must be no trauma accrued from the big split. They made it very important. The big split must not be traumatic for the people who are going off. And they said for that reason, it's going to appear like natural life is separating, just like it's happening. They said, other than, you know, when you lose people, of course there's a trauma involved, but that's normal. That's what we expect. That's what we know. We come here, you know, we're born, we live, and we die. But they said there won't be any trauma involved. And they said that one of the reasons why we won't even know about it is because we will be focused on the new work. That's what they said. There'll be so much that we will need to do that our attention will be taken completely in the work that we're going to be doing. How wonderful, eh? As a Virgo, get quite excited about that. What? Got loads of work to do. Whoa, liking that. Yeah, I heard somebody talking about the Virgo trait saying health and service. That's what the Virgos are focused on, health and service. And I thought, oh, well, there you are. And what was funny, yesterday we were in a meal and we were talking about, Mercedes, my mother-in-law, wanted to know what day she was born on. She said, I don't even know what day I was born. And I said, well, we can find that out really quickly with a bit of a check, yeah? And we looked at all the days, and obviously there's a little rhyme, isn't there, about the children on each day, what they are. Right, and I looked at mine. I was born on a Saturday, right? And Saturday's child works hard for a living. And I thought, well, there you are. No wonder I came on a Saturday as a Virgo. Yeah. So anyway, I digress. So the big split, we'll be focused on the new work. We'll be focused so much. And remember what the work is. Remember they told us what this work is. It's going to be us that are going to build the new world, to build this paradise earth that we're going to live on, whatever it's going to be. We are going to do that. That's going to be the first fundamental work that we've got to do, is start to rebuild, start to make nice. And that's so exciting. Well, it's exciting for me anyway. So it's all exciting stuff. And again, I'm aware that at the beginning, the emissaries just talked about we're in the Great Awakening. It seems that they're getting into a bit more of the mechanics of the next stage, and this is all stages. I've noticed that everything's a new stage, and I believe that we're in a new stage now. Even though it looks like we're getting to the pinnacle of the madness, but that just means that as the Jesus energy said. But know this in the last days. The good news is that it's the last days. And I think we're in the last days, and now it's like, okay, so this is what's coming, get prepared, or whatever. And I'm not the only one who's getting that message. For whatever reason, I'm being given messages from other people on my feeds of channeling. And it seems that everybody is getting very, very similar messages, which is nice. Because what's interesting is the message that I get from the emissaries, right, I get them a week behind when I give them. Right, so I already know these things a week beforehand. And it's during that week that I see confirmation. So it isn't that we're kind of plagiarizing one another and just stealing stuff. It's like what they tell me. Then I hear various sources saying the same, which is fascinating. And I do believe that this is only going to accelerate all these people getting messages. I mean, it's just everywhere. Everybody's, I'm getting messages from a guide. Brilliant. Fantastic. Because that's also going to help us, because that gives us this confirmation that, hey, maybe this is real, what's happening, and it isn't just a figment of our imagination. Some of the channelers, I have to say, do cross boundaries. For me, they go a little bit too far. Okay, and I listened to one today and I got halfway through and I had to turn him off, only because he was making me feel very uncomfortable with the detail that he was going into. Hey, but who am I to criticize anybody else? I do my thing, they do their thing. Brilliant. I just didn't want to listen to that. Some people are funny, aren't they? Okay, I love you all and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.